The military already on ground. The military this way they control ground zero. AJ the army of the people. When I see them, the military already. We fight war with bow. We fight war with AK-47, G3, M16 chain cutters. Na see them. Nigeria by action. Na see they are part of the battalion in this. Na see them. No be easy. Yes, today the 8th January. So they'll look at so. And no believer. The army this where they control ground zero. Now the army this on ground zero. Now we see how no be mob. It is so under the Supreme General of the ADF. A general by action, no be general by mob. I see battalion, a battalion this. Wow. Ambazonian I pray for the begin there. When I pray for the Supreme General of the ADF, now the battalion there they bring independence of this country. Now then this. When I see them, well equipped. This is the army of the people. The army there they control ground zero. Ambazonian I see them. It don't be easy, but now God want get power. No be by power, but by the grace of God. Official.
Yeah.
That the biggest of all number that be this.
Thank the egg of CADF.
The military this way they control ground zero. AJ the army of the people. When I see them, the military already. We fight war with bow. We fight war with AK-47, G3, M16 chain cutters. Na see them. Nigeria by action. Na see they are part of the battalion in this. Na see them. No be easy. Yes, today the 8th January. So they'll look at so. And no believer. The army this where they control ground zero. Now the army this on ground zero. Now we see how no be mob. It is so under the Supreme General of the ADF. A general by action, no be general by mob. I see battalion, a battalion this. Wow. Ambazonian I pray for the begin there. When I pray for the Supreme General of the ADF, now the battalion there they bring independence of this country. Now then this. When I see them, well equipped. This is the army of the people. The army there they control ground zero. Ambazonian I see them. It don't be easy, but now God want get power. No be by power, but by the grace of God. Official.
Yeah.
That the biggest of all number that be this.
Thank the egg of CADF for their handwork. If you not see
every new idea is somehow contested that is acceptable. But we do not create these new ideas. We borrow them from the playbooks of others who used it and were successful. On Saturday, I'll be signing into law the diaspora liberation tax to ensure that the 98.5% of our people who do not take part in the struggle, who are not part of movements, who make no commitment to our struggle, who are just bystanders, become involved in shaping our collective destiny. I know everyone will contest. Most of you who travel into La Republique, you pay visa fees, you ask no question, you pass through checkpoints, you pay bribe, you ask no questions, you pass through their dilapidated airport, you pay airport fees, no questions asked. What is given back to you is harassment. This $100 for those in the Western Hemisphere and $50 for those in the continent is going to add to what our people will raise on the ground to make sure that we do not only prosecute the war in terms of liberation tactics, but we institute policing possibilities, institutionalize some of the processes that really give the grounds for the people to establish political institutions over a nation. I know most of you will be asking, saying, oh, maybe we should have done it together. Yes, dreams are good. We live in reality. The reality is we are at war. We cannot wait when others are ready. When our people were being butchered, we started self-defense. We did not wait. We made it absolutely clear in the past years, whether in terms of education, that will explore possibilities to work it out with others. They have always been scared because they think any successful endeavor will help the Ambazonian Governing Council. We are moving forward and we know others will catch up. On Saturday, I will lay a long-term vision, a detailed long-term vision, because we are damn serious about these taxes. Yesterday, we held a meeting with more than 100 business persons on the ground to let them understand who is in charge of the ground. They have a choice to share taxes between Ambazonia and La Republique, or to commit fully to Ambazonia and get a highly reduced taxation policy once we kick out the enemy. And not only that, have a reward in terms of development, good roads, public services, a country within which they will be proud to call themselves citizens. We started this journey as a people. We will end it as a people. We will have disagreements like every people, every family. But I am damn convinced that Ambazonians in their overwhelming majority want a solution, not cosmetic measures that satisfies individuals and groups, real solutions that addresses the problem of La Republique's impunity, its occupation, and the lack of commitment by the international community to hold them accountable. The Ambazonian Governing Council will continue to provide that solution. Others are doing their own bit. And I am definitely very sure by the time we raise more men on the ground to defend borders, to defend blocks, to defend our cities, and our people begin to see tangible result, that spirit will bring every Ambazonian together to commit for post-independence development.
I salute all Una, the great people of Ambazonia. For all Papa and for Mami them, Una cafe day up.
La République du Cameroun. Fufu don't tie for their neck. Fufu, it don't tie for their neck. Gary, it don't tie for their neck. That Ambazonia, where they be want them by all means, by force, it don't tie for their neck. Paul Biya, it don't be stunned. Cameroun, it don't know what to do. The one woke up one morning. Ambazonia need the only fight La République du Cameroun. Ambazonia, they need the only fight for take their land back. Cameroun one woke up one morning. The Ambazonia Governing Council, it don't introduce a landmark policy, a groundbreaking, earthquake-shaking, a tsunami policy, where it don't put La République rope for La République in neck and chain Cameroun in foot. La République du Cameroun, it don't be stunned by the brilliance of the Ambazonia Governing Council, by the strategic thinking of the Ambazonia Governing Council, by the innovative spirit of the Ambazonia Governing Council. Cameroun, it don't hang itself. The liberation tax, where the Ambazonian Governing Council, it don't institute them on behalf of the Ambazonian people then, as a means for help the Ambazonian people then, for raise the required capital necessary for do the kind of liberation lifting in defense, in community protection, in the protection of our people, and for keep Cameroun out. The Ambazonia Governing Council, the liberation tax, not been just a statement. The liberation tax, waiting with the liberation tax, it will do for the Ambazonian people then. The liberation tax, it don't come. And for bring every Ambazonian on the ground, so that the liberation, it not going to only be a liberation with the living in the hands of the forces. The liberation, not being as something we now only the forces, they will carry the responsibility of the liberation. The liberation tax, now forget every Ambazonian man and Ambazonian woman. Get every Ambazonian boy and Ambazonian girl for commit for the liberation of the territory. For commit for their own liberation. Secondly, the liberation tax now a symbolic act for show who control the territory. When I hear this one, the liberation tax now a symbolic move by the Ambazonian Governing Council for tell the world, for tell Cameroun who be in charge of the Ambazonian territory. Now the people that be in charge of the territory, not only them get the right for institute taxation. This liberation tax, it go beyond just Ambazonians and for make commitment and for pay, for move the war forward. The liberation tax, now the starting point for Ambazonians for lay claim over their sovereignty. The liberation tax now a starting point for the Ambazonian Governing Council for help the Ambazonian people them for lay claim of their territory. Now the first time this in the history of the Ambazonian people them since the occupation start with the Ambazonian people them they finally through a policy, through a legal instrument for Ambazonian people them for take back control of their territory. Now the beginning of the journey this for reclaim the sovereignty of the Ambazonian people them and hand that sovereignty back to the Ambazonian people them. Take that sovereignty and give them back to the Ambazonian people then. That's why when I don't see Cameroun, they don't woke up. That's why they are afraid they shake for down. Cameroun, they shake for down. Cameroun, they shake for down. Cameroun, they shake. Paul Biya, they shake. Because now they understand. Say the Ambazonian people, them start to take their country back. Because the moment you start for do taxation, it demonstrates authority, control, and ownership. Now, Ambazonian people now, they get control of the territory. Now, Ambazonian people now, they get authority over the territory. Now, Ambazonian people them now, they get the power over their own territory. When I take the liberation tax very serious, because what this liberation tax could do, make us start to list some of the things that the liberation tax could do. As every Ambazonia pay a liberation tax, you go see say the forces on the ground where they go around for put roadblocks, for collect money, for survive themselves, for equip themselves, for keep themselves alive, you go see say those roadblocks, they no go be again for the forces them, for the ask people them to just give them money anyhow. You go see say, they say, some of the small crimes them will lose forces. They be the committer because we not be them. You go see now say the liberation tax, it go start for give the forces them wait till they need them for keep themselves alive, wait till they need them for fight La Republic of Cameroon, wait till they go need them for defend and protect communities, for provide policing as the leader don't explain them. As we launch the liberation tax on the ground, the people on the ground, the people in the territory, they say no. Now they don't carry the load of the liberation for their head. Why liberation tax is not there for diaspora? Why the people there for diaspora not pay liberation tax? The Ambazonian Governing Council make an amendment for the liberation tax law, and as when I don't hear from the leader Omar, they don't launch and introduce the Ambazonia diaspora liberation tax for every Ambazonian citizen above from the age of 21 for the diaspora. And the moment the news is spread, immediately one family, an Ambazonian family for Canada, the papa he pay for himself, for his wife, and for a three picking them. Papa he pay $500. The moment he hear him, he said that the best thing this way, he don't expect them for a long time. For say make every Ambazonian for diaspora, he make his own contribution to the liberation so that for support the sacrifices with Ambazonians on the territory, they carry the load of the liberation. Papa immediately pay $500, $100 for himself, $100 for his wife, and $300 for a 3 picking them. Then one of our mommy sent $600 for all them, for their family. Me, una own spokesman. I believe say leadership, a leader, he must lead by example. When they introduced the liberation tax for ground zero, I will be the first Ambazonian citizen for ask every member of my family for pay liberation tax. Every single member of my family, it will be the first family for pay their liberation tax. Me myself, even though I be there for diaspora, I pay my own liberation tax on the ground. When they introduced the liberation tax for diaspora, inside the Ambazonia Governing Council cabinet, by the time they want finish the discussion on the liberation tax and adopt them into law, I be the first Ambazonian citizen for the diaspora for pay my liberation tax. And every member of the Ambazonia Governing Council cabinet, it pay liberation tax. The leader, Dr. Choayaba, he don't pay liberation tax. This morning, I don't get about 6-7 messages of people that they send their online receipts with the excitement, say they don't pay their liberation tax. What a special moment for people in their lives. What a special moment where you go woke up one day, say Ambazonia. If you pay tax for Ambazonia. Ambazonia, they pay tax for your own country. For help for liberator. For help for end Cameroon's occupation. And a very wonderful time this will be alive. Now the most hopeful time this for every Ambazonian citizen. Every person where you know like the way they don't treat what people then. Every person will not like the way they don't humiliate what people then. Every person will not like the way Cameroun they don't take what people then. It turn them into bush animals. Just kill them on the streets anyhow. Take young boys, kill them, take even their dead bodies, tear their clothes them, naked them, and then throw them on the streets of Ambazonia. Kill women them, tear their clothes, dump them on the streets of Ambazonia. Take small picking for hand, shoot them for cheer. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And they come out, they go. Born big man made them alive. Drive communities from their natural habitat. May they start for stay for bush. Any person where you don't become a victim of Paul Biya, a terrorism, a destruction, a killings, and pain on Ambazonia. Now your own time this. Not only remain for your pain, not only remain for the trauma. Now the time this for always for act. Now the moment of action. Now the payback time this. Pay back Cameroun by paying your liberation tax. We will use the liberation tax for free the land. We will use the liberation tax for tell Cameroun say their time for leave the Ambazonian territory, it don't reach. By fire, by force, by thunder, by tsunami, by whatever means. The time for Cameroun for leave the territory, it don't reach. As all we come together for pay this liberation tax, make a repeater, there is no exception. Any able Ambazonian man and woman, you must pay your liberation tax. I talk say every able Ambazonian man and woman, you get for pay liberation tax. There is no exception. Now what is, now for survive all we, the killings not be specific to specific families. The pain not be specific to specific communities. The trauma not be specific to only certain people. All will be traumatized. All we don't lost loved ones. All we who don't cry. All we don't bury family members. All we don't bury friends, uncles, parents, grandparents. All we get family members who are refugees. All we get family members who are prisoners of war. All we get family members who they stay for bush. All we get family members who they don't get house or stay again. At the time this for revenge, all those things we Cameroun don't do for all we. The Ambazonia Governing Council, it put the lives of Ambazonian people them at the center of every single policy we make up. The goal of a leader, the goal of a liberation leader, now for do everything humanly possible for protect the lives of the people them, secure the people their lives, protect the people them. Secondly, for help those people may they become free. There is nothing any family if you give themselves than freedom. There is nothing any people for this world. Nothing a people if you give themselves will it be greater than freedom. For a people for be human, without freedom, there is no humanity for any people then. If freedom no day, humanity no day. If freedom no day, they go take people and they turn them back into slaves. They occupy them and treat them like beasts. Freedom is the first step where a human being, if he become truly human. The Ambazonian people them, they never experience true humanity. Because we never ever experience peace. The basic human needs. We never ever experience peace. We never ever experience security. We never ever experience freedom of conscience, freedom of thought, freedom of ideas, freedom of will. We never ever experience that. We never ever experience freedom of choice. Even the freedom for our own lives, we will not get that. Now the first time this, we would only take the concrete, practical, measurable steps for give an ordinary Ambazonian that sense of humanity, that sense to be truly human, so that we feel experience happiness again. We feel get peace for our communities. We feel get stability for our communities. Our people, they figure freedom of conscience, for think different thoughts, embrace different ideologies, live life according to the way it will make them feel truly human, find happiness, create progress, live a life of prosperity and dignity. Live a life where it matter. A life where begin the matter. Mommy the matter. Papa the matter. That's why we introduce this policy. Give the people the life where they don't be denied. So the liberation tax, now for help for liberate the land, end the confusion for outside here, because one of the primary reasons with so much noise is there for social media, and because of the lack of progress for the liberation. So in Macam, people they start to use the liberation for their own entertainment purposes as a means to distract the population, and the population embrace this empty noise. Because once progress there, people will follow the progress and not be noise. For stop all this distraction for outside here, we got to concentrate the efforts of the Ambazonian people then towards a specific measurable objective. Rally the people then around what matter for them. Make we not live and make this war a prolonged for too long, because we not get the means for fight la Republic the way we supposed to fight la Republic. Now the time to gather the materials and the resources and for give the soldier them waiting they need them for fight la Republic and chase these butchers out of our land. You no one go through pain anymore. Me, I no one go through pain anymore. You no one go through sleepless nights anymore. Me, I no one go through sleepless nights anymore. That's why all we get for pay our liberation tax. The governing council, it bring all Ambazonian forces. Oh, now make I address the Ambazonian forces. If you be an Ambazonian fighter, you be an Ambazonian soldier on the ground, you know what you don't go through over the last 7 years. From one, if you not be a member of the ADF, for all the loose forces on the ground, this message na for una. Over the last 7 years, when I don't be manipulated from one political movement and one political manipulator to the next. They will can't throw on a small corn in the form of 500,000, 250,000, 1 million, 2 million, and then they disappear. Una never fit for get enough for take care of ourselves and for protect ourselves. And as a result, most loose forces on the ground, they don't die, they don't scatter. Most of them, they don't also surrender to DDR because of the manipulation and the frustration. And for a lot of Ambazonian forces, when I ask ourselves, now how we will take fight la Republic? You don't need to ask that question anymore. The Ambazonia Governing Council, it provide the forces them with a stable process for get the materials where they need them, for get the material support where they need them, for get the guns them where they need them, and for get the bullets them where they need them through the implementation of the liberation tax. As the leader talk, they don't bring the ADF for Bui and they bring the ARF for Bui for help them for work mechanisms where they fit implement and enforce the liberation tax for make sure say every force on the ground it not only be equipped and supported, but now say they become stronger and powerful, and therefore the forces they go survive and they will get the means to protect, defend the communities and chase la Republic of Cameroun out. Through a process where it will be consistent. Support supposed to be consistent, not be an occasional thing. So for all the loose forces, when I can't join the Ambazonia Governing Council, when I can't work with the Ambazonia Governing Council, while when I maintain a sense of independence for implement the liberation tax through the transition authority for give una wetin una need am for stay alive. Now our invitation this, we extend an open hand to all Ambazonian forces on the ground for help them for stay alive, for help them for equip themselves. Make we help una raise the money where una need them for finish this war and for una for come home with pride. The goal of leadership also now for protect and prolong the lives of the forces. And this policy, it will go a very long way for keep forces them alive. Now, one of our responsibility is how to keep the forces alive. We believe, say, if we raise enough money through this tax policy, and that the forces them within their various blocks, they go help for implement the tax policy. Now the forces and the community, they go help for implement the tax policy, collect the money, provide accountability for that money, and use the money for secure the weapons where they need them. To the general Ambazonian population, now your time this for feel proud as an Ambazonian. Once you pay your liberation tax and you hold that receipt, for the first time for your life, you go feel truly the pride of every as an Ambazonian citizen. You go feel truly the gift of being a citizen. You go feel that inner joy, that sense of optimism and hope. Say, So finally, I feel get onto a feel hold on. And see, say me, I don't contribute for the liberation of this homeland. Na your homeland, na your freedom, na your life, na your future, na your destiny will be secure. You don't over suffer. You don't deserve for suffer. You don't live in pain. You don't deserve for live in pain anymore. They don't torture you. They don't shame you. They don't disgrace you. You know, all Ambazonians do when they live inside the Republic of Cameroun. When they talk to me on a daily basis. When they tell me on stories. When they tell me what they go through. When they tell me what they put on through. The kind of shame where they put on for our heart. The kind of disgrace where they disgrace on them. How una feeling secure. It must come to an end. Una get a homeland. Una help. The only contribution we ask una, just pay a liberation tax. We go do the rest. By the time this was sent Cameroon packing out of our territory, but it depends for we. It requires a lot of money for liberate the people. In the past, we don't do all sorts of different types of fundraisers. But everyone will do it bring we closer and closer and closer and help the forces may become stronger. This one, that the groundbreaking policies. This one, that the landmark policies. It go and unleash all sorts of possibilities for the Ambazonian people then. And start to get the international community for start to rethink. Now with these people, they don't start to institute taxation for demonstrate their authority of their land. They control and for take back and for project their sovereignty. At the time this for we for start for reconsider. So we need for work on how to recognize Ambazonia. It be now for your hand. Now wait to project them. When I don't see what Ibrahim Traore. And I don't see how it project Burkina Faso. It take the same weapons would they be used for oppress the people of Burkina Faso. It seize those power, those guns, and use them for chase out the French puppets. and re-liberate the people of Burkina Faso. For create a sense of vision, for give every single Burkina citizen hope. For bring development, so that the natural resources of Burkina Faso, it will be used for the development and the well-being of the citizens. It will only be used, say 99% of the resources and the riches and the wealth will be used by the West. 1% it go for the country. This must come to an end. So now we be the only people then we will want freedom without hard work. We want freedom without power. We want freedom. We don't want to buy guns. Now it be compulsory. It be mandatory. Every Ambazonian, it get a sense of responsibility. You get a sense of responsibility for yourself, for your community, and for your nation. This liberation tax, it will be enforced across the Ambazonian territory without any exception. 5,000 francs for women, 10,000 francs for man picking them. For diaspora, if you did live for the Western Hemisphere, for the part of the world where they outside of Africa, now $50 for people who are inside the African continent, outside of Ambazonia and outside of La République. If you are outside of Ambazonia and you are outside of La République, you'll be required to pay $50 for 1 year. If you did for this other part, from the Persian Gulf to the Middle East to whether you're for Asia, all those other parts, you can't add them for North America, South America, and for all other parts, Now $100 only minimum for every Ambazonian. So they will not ask for too much. At just $100 minimum. Make you not buy La République visa and enter inside La République for enter inside the Ambazonian territory where you not pay a liberation tax. When you reach on the ground, they catch you, they stop you, they notice you, you go pay na 1 million. Make a repeater. If you want come out diaspora for go inside that territory where the people on the ground they suffer for liberating. If you not pay your liberation tax before you go, when you enter inside that territory, you will pay na 1 million. Not call me beg me. Not call the egg of sea, beg the egg of sea. Not talk say, I don't do this, I don't do that. I know one year. You hear? I know 1 year, no nothing. Not call my phone number. Say I be a friend of a friend, and I be don't give. You remember I be paid this amount of money. You remember I be contribute this amount more. I know 1 year me no nothing. The only thing I 1 year, I don't pay my liberation tax of $100. Now I receive this. Now the only thing that will matter. Not talk say during my trip to Boya, I be give my. I know 1 year me no nothing. Not talk say I contribute my money for that. I know why you hear me that one. Liberation tax. Now liberation tax. $100 minimum if you stay for this part of the world. No talk say you want to go married for inside Ambazonia. You never pay a liberation tax. You go pay 1 million for that place where they catch you. Now for day you go pay that 1 million. Whether you want to call na Jesus, me can't pay for you. That one it concern you. Whether you want to call a man of God, me pray for you. That one concern you. It not concern me. Pay your liberation tax. Make we end the suffering on the Ambazonian people. $100 for every Ambazonian for diaspora from the age of 21. No one talks he want to go do business for Ambazonia will not pay a liberation tax. No talks he want to go be house for Ambazonia will not pay a liberation tax. No talks say your mommy, your papa, your uncle die, you never pay a liberation tax. Even if the Canada government, American government is send you, make you go work a project, whether you win a diploma, no go away, never pay a liberation tax. Okay? No go. Even if you come on to Dubai, you go and go Ambazonia. If you not pay a liberation tax, they hold you, not call my name. Not talk say I know Mr. Asu. Not talk say I'm a friend to Benedictwa. Not talk say I grew up with General Efa. At that moment, none of it no go matter. Only liberation tax, now it matter. After you pay a liberation tax, we become very good friends again. If you never pay a liberation tax, you don't be my friend. When you pay a liberation tax, we become good friends. If you never pay a liberation tax, no call my phone. No call my phone if you never pay a liberation tax. No come for me complain anything if you never pay a liberation tax. Before you call me for complaint, tell me say, first thing, Mr. Asu, I don't pay my liberation tax. If you talk, yes. That time now you'll be my friend. You be my friend. That time now I will treat you as a citizen and I get the responsibility for respond and for listen for you as a citizen and for take your complaint or your suggestion. Even if na palava happen for ground zero, no call me if you never pay a liberation tax. We no go listen for your palava if you never pay a liberation tax. For listening for any palava, you must show proof of the liberation tax. For forces for intervene, even when they don't kidnap some person, you must show proof of the liberation tax first before we listen. Because we must put the survival of ground zero ahead of anything. Ahead of our friendships, ahead of our relationships. The dignity of our picking them, it matter for me past anything. The way like the public don't treat our people, man. When I see this training, when I go gym every day, when I think about it, the time will come. We go camp for inside that territory. All right? We dey prepare. The time they come, we go enter inside that territory. I don't start my training for be a special force within the ADF. Time they come. And me, I go carry that machine gun. Una hear? Una tell Paul Biya. The time they come, we will go enter inside that territory for run this liberation struggle for that territory. We will be on the front line. And me, I will lead the fight for find place where all CPDM members, the day, me. The time they come, we will take very serious training. Very serious training. All kind of tactical training, psychological training, physical training. We will take up. The time they come, now we will enter inside that territory. Start for find all CPDM councillors and all them. And start for take them out. Put them for chain. They will see at the time they come. While the forces that they do their best, and we train the special forces for the Atlantic state, the Epasamoto. The time they come. No joke. Time for joke not there again. Whether you come on for Manu, for Meme, for Fako, for Coupe, for Ndian, any place where you come from Ambazonia, pay your liberation tax. Not talk say, ADF not there for you, you don't need for pay your liberation tax. Remember, one day you will wake up for morning time. Whether you did from Ndian, you go one can travel, come from Meme. You will come. You not pay a liberation tax, the day when you reach from Meme, your food will be shape down so. Not talks are no whole money. Not talks are no be no. Because you get a right to know. When I hear, not tell me are not be no. You get the right to know. If you don't know, there's a problem. Because you get the right to know. For Ambazonia, we give our citizens the right to know. You get the right to know. The right, if you don't know, now you know use your right to know for no. For Komot Coupe, come for Fako, or go for Bamenda. If you know hold your liberation tax, make you not try it. If you know hold your liberation tax, not make any move within the territory. Because the forces, they will enforce liberation tax. Any motor one worker within the territory, they will stop you. When I don't show you, the first thing, driver must pay liberation tax for that motor. Every motor must get receipt. Say the motor says whether the driver from Ambazonian, he don't pay all liberation tax. Then the driver must get his own receipt. Say ye the driver, for drive other people then, ye the driver don't pay a liberation tax. Secondly, every driver, he get the responsibility for make sure say before he carry any passenger for inside the motor, for make sure say that passenger don't pay liberation tax. Because if you carry passenger then, you drive them, they stop for enforced liberation tax. That passenger not get liberation tax, they go move that passenger, keep it for ground. They go move it, keep it for ground. Until you pay liberation tax, before they leave you enter inside that motor and continue on a journey. So make some person not talk say they interrupt a journey. Now you interrupt yourself by failing to pay your liberation tax. So make life be easy for you for the territory by paying your liberation tax. If you not pay your liberation tax, the inconvenience where you go get them alone. You go buy your market, you must pay your liberation tax before they leave you past where you're tinner for your market. We'll not talk to the tinner for market, they will pay the liberation tax. But you, where you go buy tinner for market, they go hold you for that place until you pay your liberation tax before you continue. Without the liberation tax, you lose the rights of a citizen for inside Ambazonia. Alright? So, now good time this for all we. Now good time this for tell Cameroun and for tell the international community who be in charge. Pay your liberation tax. For diaspora, any man and woman, for all the girls they want to go do their wedding for ground zero. Tell your boyfriend, tell your fiancé, tell your future husband, say Mr. Asu, talk say, if you not pay my liberation tax, you know go marry me for Ambazonia. Una die? Before some man can marry you as an Ambazonian girl, tell you say Mr. Asu of AGOFC of ADF. He don't talk say if you not pay the girl in my liberation tax as a girl, and he talk in terms say, okay, ma talk am again. I don't say when I laugh my pigeon. For all one Ambazonian sister then, before someone can marry you, tell you say make it pay your liberation tax. If you not pay your liberation tax, your marriage is not going to take place for the territory. You don't want to be disgraced. Not leave a mess some man picking, whether an Ambazonian or not be Ambazonian. He carry you say one go for Ambazonia, for go marry you never pay your liberation tax. When ADF hold you, you will pay now 1 million. You want to pay $100? Or when you go for the territory, they hold you pay 1 million. Which one be easier for you? I sure say you know the answer. Just $100 minimum. So for you and the man we want to marry to, only $200 minimum. $200 it be less than 100,000. So why you want to pay 1 million? Who if you pay less than 100,000? So be a person will be smart and be wise. Okay? Consequences go there for any man who will not pay liberation tax. And when it happen, not call my name. Because I know will answer your phone call. People they call me today. They won't call me, I go stop the call. I send you a message. Have you paid your liberation tax? If you not pay, I'm not call my phone. Except you call me now for find out how you pay. Okay. The only exception where I go give for any person for talk for we. Now when you call for ask, how can I pay my liberation tax? Now how have you use that for which Momo number I feel use them for pay my liberation tax. Now the only thing that if you call me for ask them. Any other thing, You must answer the question, have you paid your liberation tax? Yes. When you answer yes, then me and you talk. Yeah? For every man, Ambazonian man picking, no carry woman go marry her who never pay liberation tax. No carry am. And if you do that wedding for diaspora, before the one go do the traditional marriage for back home, make the family of that girl and the family of that boy advise the boy and advise the girl when I go pay una liberation tax. Because the people for homeland they be occupied. We need to liberate them. You know, if you talk say one go marry some girl, where part of his family be under occupation. He live under terrorism. Help for the liberation. So that when you go marry, it will be a fine wedding, a fine marriage, family that feel celebrate in peace, in happiness, for secure environment. Now all things that we want and for all we. Now here, now our lives this together, now our future this together. All we want come home. We want come to a free homeland. We go fight for liberator. Ambazonia and our own. Now only one Ambazonia day for all we. Pay your liberation tax. Your liberation tax is part of your own contribution for help, for end the occupation, the tyranny on our people, the pain on our people, and for help our people them, may they taste life, may they taste happiness, may they taste peace, may they even taste love, may they taste progress. Pay your liberation tax. My phone be available for all now. Any man way you want to find out how if you pay liberation tax, if you always send me that message. All right. For all other people that they did for diaspora, when I go for the website adla.africa for pay a liberation tax, very easy. You just take your credit card, it just give you a receipt. Okay. When I get a blessed day, may God bless all we. May God bless our land as we continue for mobilize massive resources for build a big army for take back our country. When I stay fine, may God bless you now. Cameroun, the time for our land, it don't come to an end. Now the time for jam them. As now, they don't be confused. Good night.
ADF and AOC. If we look and find out how work than this.
This way they control ground zero. AJ the army of the people. When I see them, na military already. We fight war with bow. We fight war with AK-47, G3, M16 chain cutters. Na see them. Nigeria by action. Na see they were part of the battalion in this. Na see them. No be easy. Yes, today the 8th January. So they'll look at so and they'll believe them. The army this where they control ground zero. Now the army this on ground zero. Now we see how no be mob. It is so under the Supreme General of the ADF. A general by action, no be general by mob. I see battalion, a battalion this. Wow. Ambazonian when I pray for the begin there. When I pray for the Supreme General of the ADF, now the battalion they bring independence of this country. Now in this, when I see them, well equipped. This is the army of the people. The army they control ground zero. Ambazonian see it don't be easy, but now God will get power. No be by power, but by the grace of God. Official.
Yeah.
That the biggest of all number that be this.
Thank the egg of ADF for their handwork. If we not see ADF and egg of C, if we not look and find out handwork than this, we thank God. Escape! Escape! Who's your form commandant? Correct.
Good night. May God bless all.